Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, we need to realize what we are doing as human beings, as adults, or as human, I don't know, just as people, as something alive with a consciousness able to make rational decisions. We need to realize what we're doing. Today we're going to watch a video called When He Realized He Helped Kill His Son. Now, I can't imagine what this is. I'm imagining, actually. I just said I can't imagine, but a whole bunch of things are going through my head. But anyway, so I can't imagine, but I can't imagine. Either way, whatever. Let's go ahead and see what the hell this guy did that took the life of his son.
Hello, I need someone to tell me what's going on.
Help me, help me, help me!
Late in the night on June 5th, 2021, officers from the Woodbury and Oakdale Police Department in Minnesota receive a slew of 911 calls about a drive-by shooting that took place in a residential neighborhood at a high school graduation party. Dispatch begins notifying officers of a white Tahoe that is potentially involved. Multiple officers patrol the area, while others secure the scene of the shooting and gather information.
Stay in your house.
A high school graduation party. Kids, these are still kids. Regardless, they're 18 and now. They're still kids.
Hey, what house is this, guys? Right here. Right here. All right, hands. Show me hands. Show me hands. Don't move. Right here, this house. Okay, nobody move. Someone shot?
Yes.
Where?
I don't know.
Walk to me. Walk to me.
We didn't shoot.
Walk to me.
Okay.
Just follow our orders and we'll figure this out.
While this is going on, officers discover the white Tahoe speeding by.
Again, Woodbury squads, either white Tahoe or white Escalade, driving fast by 611.
Get out here.
My house is full of people!
719, I need a lot of cars to the house.
A lot of cars now. 576, I got a white SUV, northbound Century, high rate of speed, passing up Rafton.
Everybody out, let's go.
There's a baby.
Okay, well, we need you out
I
here.
need everybody to come out of my house! Everybody!
After the officer clears the house, he continues to inspect the rest of the scene. Soon, officers will question them further on what happened. Right now, the main priority for officers involves capturing the suspect and ending the pursuit.
7131, I'm coming down 94, I'm almost to Century. Almost to 94. Westbound 94 from Century. 7131, I'll be behind him shortly.
7131, I'll be behind 76.
Still high rate of speed, passing vehicles, run the front.
Listen, when you mix alcohol and firearms, it's never a good mix. Young people, alcohol, and firearms. Never a good combination. Ever.
Frontage road.
Passing vehicles on the frontage road.
Even older people, let me correct that. Even older people, alcohol and firearms. Alcohol and firearms and anyone. Bad mix.
Committed westbound 94.
Committed westbound 94.
Still westbound under Ruth.
Westbound under Ruth.
Still westbound, approaching 61, speed 120.
Approaching 61, speed 120.
Secondary cruiser cannot see the project.
Over Johnson Parkway by St. Paul and Ramsey County.
Over Johnson Parkway, we're advising on LTAC 1.
Is it a white Bronco? It's always a white Bronco.
7131, I'm westbound, all calling.
Whenever you're chasing a white Bronco, man, you know it's gonna be. It's not a Bronco. I'm just saying. Older cats know what I'm talking about.
7131, approaching 52.
Copy, approaching 52.
Jesus, man.
10-4. Lead Victoria, westbound.
6 westbound at Victoria.
And we're coming up to 35 east.
Approaching 35 east.
For the stop was driving conduct, vehicles driving over 4 lanes of traffic, no signals, making erratic turns.
Vehicle description.
That's a long ass chase. Damn.
Car.
Yo, he going to the emergency.
We're gonna pick car to the front.
He's going to the emergency room.
And we have a pit. We have a pit. We have a pit.
Go ahead, pay that 12.
Show me your hands. Keep your hands up now. Don't move.
I'm gonna terminate where
Do not move.
Oh, no, they're not going to the emergency room. Oh, yeah, they are.
Don't move. I'll get you somebody. We got someone shot in the back. 7131. We have somebody shot in the back seat here. You start me.
That's a fucked up situation, man. Because if there's life and death, right? There's life and death. There's somebody shot in the back. The police are after you. You have to pull over, but you want to save that person also who's dying. You don't want to pull over and waste time while the police are like, oh, put your hands up and all that good stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to you can't just run from the cops. So it's like you got to pick and choose, man. You got to I don't know. I guess I would call 911 on the way over there and be like, look, I'm in a white, just so dispatch knows. Look, I'm in this white vehicle, blah, blah, blah. This is the description. This is what's happening. I'm racing so that she could let the other cops know, hey, this is the license plate. This is the car. So if you see him, just follow him. And then when you get to the emergency room, then you can go ahead and do what you got to do. After they, already, whoever the victim is goes to whatever they got to do.
Break from St. Paul.
Someone shot in the back seat.
We're not going to shoot. You keep your fucking hands up. I have an ambulance coming. Do you understand me? Yes, we will.
Chicago Avenue.
Okay? I want you to
Location.
get out of the car. You.
Looks like they lightning great.
Get on the ground! Get down!
Get over here on the ground.
Get
now.
on the ground now!
Driver, you crawl over to me. Yep, you crawl over and you get on that ground now.
Jackson, we're serving an ambulance. Welcome, Jackson.
Get on the grass. Right there. On the grass. Go to the grass. Go.
Get down!
Going out shot in the back.
I'm down, please, my friend is shot in the back. Please help, please help, please help. Please help.
I'll clasp your hands.
Where's he shot at?
I got a shot.
Not in the Cadillac.
He's unconscious.
All right. 14 years old, please. Please get him.
14.
I can't tell. I don't think so. Actually, we'll go your way. Yeah, he's got one in the back or two.
Man.
I got gloves on already, man. Sit up on the curb. Sit up. Stand up. Scoot back on the curb. Sit on the curb. You're good there.
I know this looks messed up, and I know people are like, oh man, just get this kid to the hospital. Yes, you do want to get him to the hospital as fast as possible to possibly save his life. But the videos you're not seeing, the situations you're not seeing, why the police are like this, and it's really messed up, but why they pull them over, and it's like, oh, and they get him out of the car, and they put him on the ground and everything. You don't see the videos where there have been plenty of times, and we've seen them in the academy, because they show us they show us unedited videos. They show us unedited. Like, the ones we see here are edited. They won't show any graphic stuff, really. They'll just tell us the story and things like that. But we see the unedited ones. And there's been times when they're like, "Oh, I'm going to the emergency room, going to the emergency room," and it's been a lie. The cop ends up getting shot for some reason. When he goes up, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna help." Bow. They use that as an excuse, or times when they've just escaped using the old emergency room excuse. You know what I mean? There's so many variables, so they got to take every precaution necessary. There should be an ambulance coming up here soon, hopefully.
Hang tight for me, okay?
I gotta carry him, guys.
Is there a Xavier here?
No, sir.
Do you guys know Xavier?
No.
Okay.
This officer inquires about a known individual attendee of the graduation party, Xavier. Back at the crime scene, witnesses noted known attendee Xavier and two of his friends got into a physical altercation with another attendee, Davion, before the shootout occurred. After Davion and his group of friends left, witnesses shared that Xavier and others fired their own guns at the vehicle involved in this chase. Xavier and his group of friends apparently took off immediately after the shooting. Nobody seemed to know where they were, nor would they find them that night. Shortly after this, 911 operators would get a call regarding a possible domestic situation they initially thought was unrelated to this case. However, they would soon learn that the call came due to the shooting victim's mother, Trisha, crying out in remorse over her 14-year-old son being shot. While officers are on scene at her home, Trisha's other son, 16-year-old Davian, his girlfriend, 19-year-old Brianna, and a friend to the family referred to as an auntie arrive. The two kids are panicked about what they just experienced. At this point, officers know that the 14-year-old in the backseat of this vehicle was shot and that the driver was indeed rushing to the hospital. After securing the scene, multiple officers lift the 14-year-old up, each appearing to grab one limb each, and physically carry him about 50 yards over to Regions Hospital, a level 1 trauma center in St. Paul. The man driving the vehicle was soon discovered to be the boy's stepfather.
Hey, are any of you guys injured? No. You're okay? You're okay?
I'm just trying to get him to the hospital.
Hey, you're okay?
Yes.
Are you injured?
Oh my God.
Have you any spots to confirm code 4 crash scene?
In the back. Switch. Which door are we going in?
Oh, okay. I know I saw emergency room.
No.
With LTAC 1, you'll fill the dispatcher.
Officers soon questioned the other occupants of the vehicle and found the driver to be 35-year-old Keith Dawson, the stepfather of the 14-year-old shooting victim. He was traveling with his younger brother of 20 years, 15-year-old DeMarco, and a friend of DeMarco's, 15-year-old Michael. Simultaneously at Trisha's house, officers questioned Davian and Brianna. They shared with officers that they were shot at after a physical dispute between Davian and another individual named Jaden Levon Townsend, 19, assisted by two other aggressors, Xavier Ledrew Hudson, 17, and Enrique Lucio Davila, 23.
My son just started driving. He got his license. He's 16. Hey, he's had his permit. He drove for the first time on his own, like by himself. We let him take the car over to get us some stuff from the pharmacy and things like that. He went to Subway, got himself something to eat, whatever. And not gonna lie, I'm a tough dad, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, I believe boys should be tough and all that. But my heart was like, damn. Every time, he keep telling me, Dad, I go hang out with my friends now, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, man, these damn teenagers, man. I know how teenagers are because I was one. I know how teenage boys are because I was one. So that always gets to my, I'm like, man, I just, look how these teenagers are idiots, man. They're idiots. I'm sorry. And then the music we listen to, and look, I'm big on music, man. You'll know that, but the music we listen to doesn't help. All it talks about is us killing us. You know what I mean?
The story they told officers aligned with Keith's telling of the event that night, which we will cover in a moment. Officers then left Trisha's home, likely due to the domestic dispute being resolved and questioning deemed complete. This leads us to the interrogation with Keith Dawson, who was just informed that his 14-year-old stepson, Damaris, did not survive his wounds.
I can hang out here with Keith, okay? If you guys just want to hang out in the hall, because Adam's got 2 right down the hall that he's going to be trying to have parents come and pick him up and stuff, okay?
Absolutely.
So when you get into St. Paul there, and it sounds like they pitted your car, okay? Twist you around.
Yeah, I was trying to go slow. I didn't want he had sending me around. You know, I'm trying to get to the hospital. Hey man, they get some shot. When the sun shot, then shot. You know, that's why I'm gone. I ain't got time to be stopping, man. I'm going to the hospital. That little any second could have saved, you know.
The autopsy performed at a later date detailed that the bullet traveled through a lung and parts of his heart.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to save. I'm trying. I went to Woodbury Hospital. It was closed.
I know.
Man, try.
I know.
Jets. Tubing, man. We go. Graduation party, man.
That's what Michael said.
What?
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry, Keith. Keith, before we start.
Whenever there is a teenager's party, that's why they created chaperones. That's why they created chaperones, not just as a good part in them movies from back in the 80s and 90s. You know, like they always had the chaperone that was uncool or whatever. That's why you have chaperones, even in life. If my son says, "Yo, when I have a party here," my sons ain't the party type, but if they was like, "Yo, I want to have a get together with friends, graduation party at the house," if I let that happen, you best believe I'm going to be there. I'm going to be like a bouncer at the door, owner of the club, all that. Hey, you better not bring nothing to this house. There's going to be no alcohol. It's going to be the uncoolest party you've ever been to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go that far, but they're not going to be up here smoking and drinking. I got weapons in my house. So they're not going to be in my bedroom. We're not going to have none of that. I'm telling you, you might as well just not have the party here.
We're talking here. I don't know. I'm kind of coming out of the back end. I've been talking to people and kind of have a good idea of what's going on here, okay? And I know that I understand the reason why you just kept on going to the hospital. Makes complete sense.
They stopped me, called me, told me to come, man. They robbing them and stuff, and brother and stuff.
Okay. Before we get into that, I know you're going through so much right now, but because I have you here, okay, I have to read your rights. I'm not saying you're going to jail, okay, but I have to read your rights because you're technically in custody, okay? So before we get into details, if you want to get into details, I got to do that, okay? You understand? Okay. Okay, Keith, right now you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand each of these rights I explained to you? Okay. Do you want to talk here today?
I'm going to get charged with anything?
I honestly, right now, I don't know. I'm going to shut the door here. You fled from police, and that makes complete sense to me, okay? So looking at this from where I'm at now, I can't say you're not getting charged. I couldn't, given the circumstances, it's reasonable what you did, but I don't know. My plan is getting you home. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to talk?
Yeah. I guess a couple of weeks before that, I guess they was telling me that they having some money and some guys or something, but I don't know.
Damaris was saying that?
Damaris and Davion or whatever.
Okay.
I guess something with his older brother. I don't know why they messing with my kids or something, you know?
Yeah.
They don't be out on the streets and nothing like that. So he called me tonight. I just got out the shower. He called, man, they trying to rob my brother, take his car and that. He got rims and stuff with 16-year-old. He got some rims on his car, nice car and stuff. And
so when Damaris called you,
that's another thing. He just said, 16-year-old got some rims on his car. I'm not doing nothing nothing in my son's car to make it look cool. My son has a 2003 Honda Element. That car ain't getting nothing to make it look, to attract any attention. It barely got tints. You shouldn't be putting anything on a 16-year-old's car. If you got a 16-year-old car, look, I'm not saying you can, because there's car enthusiasts. He might be one of those kids that likes to work on cars. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. But the problem is, man, the minute you start adding stuff, you start adding music, you got a system in your car, you got this, that, and the third, rims and all that. It attracts attention, and then you got haters coming from all over the place. He's gonna be going out with his friends. It's gonna attract girls, which girls are gonna have what, ex-boyfriends or guys that like them, and they're gonna see that they may be attracted to this kid now, to your kid or whatever, that has a nice little car with rims or whatever, and they're gonna try to hate on them, and then that's where situations happen.
He was at the party. He called you.
Yep.
He's having problems.
Yep. He called me. He said some guys at the thing trying to rob him right now.
He say any names or anything?
No name. He said something about some WAP or something like that. I don't know what that is. I heard him say something about some WAP or something. I don't know what's that or whatever, but I heard him say something about WAP or something.
Okay.
Here, Keith mentions the aggressor, likely referring to Xavier, is part of the WAP. He probably means the Bad Side Mafia, aka WAP gang of the Twin Cities. According to the Pioneer Press, a criminal complaint surrounding Xavier's crimes as a juvenile indicated he was a known associate of the gang. His juvenile crimes included a robbery at gunpoint, where he shot at his victim as they attempted to flee in February of 2021. He was apparently given a conditional release from this crime on May 25th, 2021, 11 days before Damaris's killing. Reports also indicate that, the day before the events in this video, Xavier had allegedly used a firearm to threaten other persons inside a restaurant. In an interrogation held at a later date with Xavier, the 17-year-old describes in his own way what the WAP is.
What's the WAP? W-O-P-P. What does that stand for?
WAP?
Yeah.
You got it all over t-shirts and stuff in your room.
How you gonna call a gang a WAP? Whatever.
Room and hats in the house and...
Yeah, on top. What did they say? Fuck. I have no brain fart right now. But WAP and BSM are the same thing though.
BSM? What's BSM?
Bad Side Music. So I could be like on WAP, I could be like on the WAP, or I could be like on BSM.
So it's like the group that you rap with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm coming trying to get there. By the time I got there, I pulled up and started shooting from both sides, you know what I'm saying?
So when you got there, you heard the shots?
Yeah, when I got there and I pulled up, I started shooting from both sides or something like that. And then I took off straight, just going straight, because I don't know where it's going. It's night, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where bullets coming from or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She come through that way and coming out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, I'm just going, you know, so I get to going fast, duck it down, trying not to hit nothing, and I'm like, there's a lot of people out there and everything. So as I'm going down that way, they must was coming behind me too. They, Damaris and them driving behind me. They shooting at them too. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when they shooting at them, by the time we got to the end, it's a roundabout, like a dead end thing. Now I don't know my.
Was it like a park?
Yes, a park down there. So I get right there. They get right there. I see them. I'm thinking this the dude and they're finna start shooting, but that was David and Damaris. And they tell me, Damaris shot, jumped out. I grab him and put him in the Tahoe with me to try to hurry up and run him to the hospital. Me and DeMarco
and Michael.
Yep. We all jump in the car. He shot. Where? I don't know. I'm picking him up. I don't see no blood on me. Nothing. Pick him up, throw him in the car. I'm flying.
This scene that Keith shares here is captured during a 911 call.
Starting date Saturday, June 5th, 2021, 22 hours, 43 minutes, 8 seconds.
Why is 911 ringing twice, 3 times, 4 times? Like it's fucking, like you're calling to upgrade your phone plan.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Come here. Hey! Oh, my cousin died, my cousin! He died, we in the parking lot, my cousin, he just got shot, my cousin just got shot.
Your car is being, what is going on with your car?
Just got shot.
Your car got, what's going on?
We got to doors!
Yo, when you call 911, guys, it is imperative. And I know it's easier said than done, especially if it's just two people, whatever. There's shock, there's adrenaline, and all that. You need to try as hard as possible to speak clearly and to be calm. I know it's hard. I know it's there's a situation going on, especially like this one. Nobody's gonna be calm. Nobody should be. But you gotta talk calm, man, so they can hear you, so they can send you the proper stuff. Because she's over here thinking the car got shot, so she's not gonna take it as, yeah, the car got, yeah, there was a shot, but she's thinking right now the 911 dispatch is like, okay, a car got shot at. Now her next question would probably be, is anybody shot? Any person shot? They're not that they're not gonna care that a car is shot, but they're not gonna take it as serious as if a person is shot.
Hello, I need someone to tell me what's going on. Hello? Hello, I need someone to tell me what's going on.
Help me, help me, help me, help me!
I need to know where you are. I need to know where you are.
I'm trying to help! Help me! Come on! Come on!
I need to know where you are.
No! Man!
Damn. She has no details.
Y'all gotta put the GPS on. GPS on.
Hello?
The caller suddenly hangs up. The moments after this lead to officers arriving on scene and beginning their pursuit. From the moment this 911 call was initiated to the moment officers transported the boy over to hospital staff, roughly 15 minutes surpassed.
Was he making any noises? Or?
I heard threw him in the car.
You heard him kind of moan, okay. And then your fiance, is she, do you know where she is right now?
She at Regis.
Okay. And what's your fiance's name?
Trisha.
Trisha. I'm just going to step out here. I'm going to try and find my partner and see kind of where we're at and see what we can do about you, okay?
After this officer left the room, he found Keith and his party's telling of the situation contradicted other witness statements collected at the scene of the crime. Shortly after this discovery, the officer returns to question Keith again with this newfound information.
All right, Keith, this is my partner, Paul, here. Paul was at the scene, and he talked to some people to try to get the perspective of what happened there, okay? Our goal is to find out exactly what happened. And I think there's some stuff, inconsistencies are telling me. We want to get to the bottom of this. We know.
One thing investigators do not like is inconsistencies. This person says, oh yeah, I saw the guy had a red shirt and he went to the left. This person says the guy had a blue shirt and he went to the right. That's inconsistencies. Inconsistencies can be spotted right. You can detect them right away. You don't even have to be a detective. You'll know there's inconsistencies. The stories don't have to sound exactly verbatim the same because everybody's gonna tell it their way. But there will be consistencies if everybody's on the same page. If everybody saw the same thing, they're gonna tell the same story in a different way, but it's gonna be the same stories, the same details. Some people may have more details than others because they were standing at a different viewpoint, but for the most part, it's going to be the same. It's when you start inconsistencies, when you're like, nah, Ray didn't have the gun. It was John who had the gun. You know what I mean?
There's a couple casings in your truck. What happened?
We pulled up. There's some guys out there, and they started shooting, like I told you.
Okay.
They started shooting. They shoot you on this side, they shoot you on that side.
So I was out talking to witnesses, as far as I can tell, that they don't seem to have a dog in the game. They're telling me that there was a fight between a couple of the kids that were at this grad party, and that Davion was saying something similar to, I'm gonna make some calls and I'm gonna keep this bitch up and blah, 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 blah. And within 10 minutes or less, they see a white Tahoe come into the neighborhood. One person said it was kind of creeping, with the person looking all around. And then another person said that it was kind of driving and like quick stopping, like it was looking for somebody or looking for something. And I got people that were standing by a car across the street right next to it. And I got people standing at the foot of the driveway that see this car come in. They see a lone male driver in a light SUV, lean over and start popping rounds. They see the
Wait. A Tahoe. Wasn't he driving a white Tahoe?
flash coming on the inside of the car. They saw nobody else in this SUV, and that is the first shots being fired towards this other group. And then there's a slight pause, and then just a rally of bullets flying and everywhere, and everyone went scattering and running and hiding and ducking. How do you explain that?
Man, shit everywhere. Shots fired.
Did you fire back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Fired.
I appreciate you being honest. Okay.
Did you fire first?
Yeah, fired.
You did?
Those shots started firing, man.
You heard shots and started firing, or did you?
Shots just started firing. Man.
Okay.
Did they start before you started, or did you start?
The question is, did you initiate the firefight? That's the question. He doesn't want to answer that because he knows there's more to his story. He probably did initiate it.
Because there was some stuff told to you by people that were there that made you feel like you needed to react in a certain way to protect your family or to protect whatever.
I was trying to rob and take my stuff from my kids and stuff. And stuff kept going on or whatever, man.
Okay.
So who fired first?
Fired first.
You did?
Oh.
How does that resolve the conflict between your kids and these kids? Or was it just anger? Or?
Anger, man. They keep.
Where's the gun?
I threw it.
Okay.
So, Sentry.
Do you think it's on Sentry? So
Sentry in the parking lot.
Sentry in the what parking lot?
And he threw the gun out.
On Sentry by the SA over there, by that apartment building.
So you fired first, and then you threw the gun out.
Okay. We need to try and figure out where this gun is so the little kid don't pick up this gun. Okay. I'm going to pull my map out.
Keith continues to explain details of that night with apparent honesty. He shares where he started shooting, where he threw the gun out the window, and ultimately came clean about his actions. With Keith's confession, officers took him into custody with charges pending. They were also able to obtain the gun he had thrown out the window. Their next steps required putting warrants out for the other 3 aggressors involved, that being Jaden, Enrique, and Xavier. However, over a week had gone by, and the 3 were nowhere to be found. It was clear that several dozen bullets flew that night. Investigators found bullet holes all over the neighborhood, including in uninvolved vehicles, houses, and some with jaw-dropping trajectories. One bullet's path just above a pillow, where if a person had been laying, they likely would have died. It is astounding that no one else at the scene was hit or killed. Investigators, working alongside crime scene forensics, would have a firm understanding of the details that unfolded that night. Next, we will detail the story in full. That night, Damaris tagged along with his older brother Davian, Brianna, DeMarco, and...
Keep in mind, this is a graduation party. So they made it through high school. They graduated high school.
Michael to Brianna's friend's graduation party. They had all carpooled in Brianna's silver Kia Forte. Minutes after arriving at the party, the group would be confronted by Jaden, who was accompanied by Xavier and Enrique. In court testimony, Davian, the victim's brother, notes he is immediately uncomfortable with how they acted. He described that Jaden appeared to want to fight, and interrogation later held with Xavier supported this.
Jaden said something like, hey bro, wasn't you like trying to get a gun to shoot at us and stuff like that? Then Davian like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. James like, yeah bro, why ain't you just talk to me like a man or something? I feel disrespected, can we fight? Davian was like, nah bro, I'm not fighting you and shit.
Davian detailed that his little brother said he was ready to leave. Davian agreed before Jaden, Xavier, and Enrique blocked them. Davian testified that Enrique lifted up his shirt and revealed a gun in his waistband as he said, "Don't try anything." Enrique then tried to take whatever was in Davian's pockets. Davian in this moment recognized Xavier not just as a classmate from school, but also as a client. Davian had cut hair as a barber and had just cut Xavier's hair weeks prior to that night. His father, Keith, even mentions this during his interrogation.
My son, he cut hair. Davian cut hair. I guess these same little kids have been over at our house.
Davian noted in court testimony, "I kept telling Xavier, I said, get your friends. I said, I just cut your hair. I have nothing." Jaden then suddenly smacked Davian with an open hand. After that, Davian grabbed his little brother and gathered his group to leave. As he did so, Davian shares in court testimony, Xavier said, "I better see no windows come down or I'm flipping your car."
I'm flipping your car means I'm shooting at it. That's what that means. I'm flipping your car, in case you don't know, it means I'm shooting at your car. But on a lighter note, I know I'm not making light of anything here. This is crazy, but getting slapped is like so much worse than getting punched. I don't know. Getting slapped, oh my God. I got slapped once, bro. I got slapped once during the fight, and it was bad. Like for 2 seconds, I felt like everything stopped in the world, and it was like I was alone. There was no other human or anything alive. I was in like the void, and then it came back to me, and we started fighting again. But because I got slapped,
implying he would shoot at them if they appeared to act in a drive-by shooting. During his interrogation, Xavier claimed to have no part in this particular situation, but that everyone was looking at him because of his status as a rapper.
I'm looking at everybody, and then everybody looking at me, right? Literally, the whole party knows me because I'm a rapper, you feel me? They all know me, you know, they listen to my music and stuff like that. They my fans or whatever like that. So I'm not a problem starter, but you feel me? I handle business, so they left.
After they get in the car, Davian's little brother, Damaris, calls his stepdad and Davian's biological father, Keith Dawson, and informs him of what happened. Davian explains that he took the phone from his younger stepbrother at this point and started talking to his father. Davian shared that Keith yelled at him in this moment and claimed that his father was scared. He shared his dad said to stop going places in public because there's so much drama in the world right now. Davian explained in court testimony that this was not the first incident between himself and Xavier, adding that his father likely did not know Jaden or Enrique.
They got their haircuts and everything because they go to school with each other, you know, but I don't know them personally though.
Okay.
Keith then drove his white Chevy Tahoe and met the group in a car dealership parking lot. Here, Keith allegedly explained to the group that they needed to go back to the party so that the three harassers would stop messing with them. From here, most of the story is known. Keith drove by the party in his Tahoe while Davian trailed behind, driving the silver Kia, which housed all of his peers. Damaris sat in the middle back seat of the car. Next, Keith would shoot at the three aggressors while they were outside their Dodge Durango. Enrique would immediately start firing back, using the gun in his waistband. Xavier ran to the wheel well of his girlfriend's car, where he stashed his pistol and laid down on the grass to return fire. Jaden, although the lead aggressor, did not fire a weapon. Over 40 bullets flew that night. Then Davian screamed for the passengers to duck as he tried to drive away from the scene. In this moment, Damaris exclaimed that he had been shot and that he couldn't breathe. When Davian turned around to look at him, he shared that Damaris's head slouched over and his brother looked lifeless. According to reports, this would be the only bullet that struck a person. Forensics shows that the bullet traveled through the back license plate of the silver Kia and through the back seat before.
Thank God. These kids aren't trained in shooting, clearly. And it was just kind of, I'm not going to call it a lucky shot, but a straight bullet, you could say, I guess, you know, that unfortunately hit this child. Because 40 shots are not one. See, people think it's like the movies where, like, you got the one guy running or whatever, and he's shooting, and you know, he's bumping off everybody he sees, the guy on the ledge and all that stuff, all the movies we're used to. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all, man. There's so much movement going on. You know what I mean? And these kids aren't trained in shooting. I'm sure they don't go to the range every other weekend to practice with these weapons. You know what I mean?
For hitting Damaris. He was pronounced dead at 11:12 that night. Davian swears in court that he and his peers did not know Keith had a gun in the car, nor that he was going to shoot at their aggressors. This is despite witness statements that night claiming he had threatened to get the place shot up. This led to Davian honking his horn to get his father's attention so he could pull over, where they transferred Damaris from the Kia to the Tahoe. We know where Keith, Damaris, DeMarco, and Michael went that night. Davian and Brianna went a different direction in their Kia. They attempted to drive drive back to his mom's house. In a witness statement, Brianna shares that they were chased by the Dodge Durango they believe to be driven by Jaden with Xavier and Enrique.
Wait. So, did I miss something? I think I missed something. Because supposedly the white Tahoe was the one that initiated everything, the stepfather.
As passengers, Davian shares that he sped and ran red lights on the way. Trying to lose track of them, they take another route, leading them to his aunt's house. This account may or may not have been driven by fear or paranoia, however. Other police reports contradict that the three aggressors drove off in the Durango. Rather, Xavier, his girlfriend Alexis, Enrique, and others got in her red Honda Civic and were followed by Jaden in his Durango, where they stopped at a gas station and then went to Xavier's home. Because Xavier had a juvenile criminal history, officers were already familiar with him and his address and attempted to extract him from his home that night. Though officers were not able to find him, Xavier shared a surprising revelation about where he was that night.
So you were still kind of in the area when Oakdale PD showed up at your house?
Oh, I watched everything happen. Like, I watched them surround my house 4 times.
Did you stay there all night and watch it?
Damn near. I heard, them say my name.
Okay, that's probably with the big giant armor tank looking thing or whatever.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Brianna and Davian, believing they presumably lost their assailants, entered his aunt's home and informed her of the situation. From there, she drove them in her car to Davian's house and discovered police were already there questioning his mom, who had already been informed her other son was shot. That night, Davian and Brianna's story aligned with the first account Keith told. The following morning, the pair were questioned again and were informed that Keith told the whole truth, prompting them to do the same. The incident occurred on the night of June 5th, 2021. The report much of this information was extracted from was written on June 10th. The 3 initial harassers, Jaden, Xavier, and Enrique, were still at large at that time, their whereabouts unknown. In the days after the shooting, it was discovered that Xavier fled the state of Minnesota, traveling all the way to Florida. He was assisted by his mother, Susan Blood, and his girlfriend, Alexis Moore. On June 15th, 10 days after the shooting, the vehicle they were traveling in was discovered coming back through Wisconsin. It was apparent that Xavier changed his appearance by cutting his hair short. Officers followed them into Minnesota, where they shut down Interstate 94 and apprehended the 3 of them. After his apprehension, officers investigated the search histories of Xavier and Susan's phones. The findings alluded to fleeing and hiding. Within hours after the incident, Susan searched hotels near me. Other searches made on their way to Florida included, how do you get to Mexico? What do you need to cross the border? And, can police trace iPhone? On the way back into Minnesota, they were searching for flights that went from Minnesota to Texas, implying he may have continued to run if he was not apprehended. On June 16th, court documents indicate Jaden...
I don't get it, though. Why they go to Florida and turn around and go back? Like, what?
Turned himself in. Finding Enrique would prove a difficult feat.
How tight are you with Enrique?
Not really.
Okay.
He won't listen to y'all.
Do you think who do you listen to?
To me. I mean, I'm top, literally top block. I know it might seem a little stupid, but the name means a lot.
For months, officers asked the public for information of his whereabouts, sharing photos in this known video of Enrique, brandishing the gun he used in the shooting. He was eventually found hiding out with a family member, avoiding custody all the way until September 30th, 2021, nearly 3 months later. During interrogations, Xavier admitted to shooting 19 shots at the white Tahoe, a statement that forensics would find accurate.
I know how many times I shot.
How many?
I shot 19 times. The only controlled shots I had was them 5 shots.
So the first 5 were more controlled.
Yeah, the first.
And then you were going for like fire superiority kind of thing.
Right.
An amended criminal report notes that Xavier had a previous charge of delinquent felony possession of ammunition, pistol, or assault weapon by a person under the age of 18. This legally made him ineligible to possess a firearm. Investigations found that at least 21 bullets were shot from Enrique's gun.
Yo, I missed something, man. How is the stepfather from the white Tahoe involved? Like, I mean, I know he said he shot, but who did he shoot at? I'm thinking he started it, but I haven't heard from him anymore.
Around 4 shells were found in Keith's Tahoe. In his interrogation, Xavier freely gave his opinions on the whole situation.
I didn't have a problem with this little kid that passed away from me. I feel really bad, but his dad's gonna live with that shit.
Yeah, this is one of those circumstances where everything had to fall in order.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wouldn't have caused the problem.
Yeah.
I would have left it at what it was. They took it in their power to call their dad, meet with their dad, and come shoot at us. You fucked up, like that's your fucking fault. That's what's making me so non-caring about the situation. Ball was in their park, and they played it so foul. You know?
I agree.
It ended up in a little boy's life being taken. That shit is tragic.
All right, it started with the dudes trying to like herb. That's the word we used to use. Trying to like rob or whatever the other dudes who left, who called the stepfather and said, hey, they're trying to rob us. That's what he told them. They're trying to rob us. Stepfather came, this is what I'm taking, and was like, oh, they're trying to rob you? No shots were fired yet. He came and picked them up, then went by the house and blah, 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 and then started blasting.
He could have left it alone. Okay. He should have been the grown man he's supposed to be and left it alone. But
we started a gun battle in the middle of a residential neighborhood that left one kid dead, a bunch of houses shot up.
Just wish I would have stayed at home. I didn't go there with any intention to hurt anybody. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I protected myself and my loved ones. I protected my girlfriend. I protected damn near everybody at the party.
Yeah.
I'm like Superman. I'd have killed 4 more people for that's my life right there. That's my lifeline. Like I'll fuck around and kill myself if I ain't had her.
Alexis?
Yeah, like that's my real life soulmate. Like I wouldn't.
Alexis, his girlfriend, bro. Stop talking like that, man. You young guys. I'm not saying there's no soulmates out there, but come on, man. Stop.
Know what to do with her. Like I'd probably be crying right now if it wasn't real shit. I'd probably off myself. Like dead ass serious. I need her in my life. Like people don't get that. You know, some people keep other people emotionally stable. She keep me emotionally stable. Whatever this time finna be, I could get through this shit knowing that she finna be there when I get out. I wish it, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't have been him. I wish the dad would have died. I wish that boy that's in that stepdad, whoever's in custody, I wish he would have passed.
Everything he's saying is fucked up. I don't care what you think. Everything he's saying is not up here. He's talking from I don't know what place. That lock him up. Lock him up. Let me tell you something. Also, he's talking about his girl's life or whatever. This the same dude that if that girl breaks up with him, he will fuck around and kill her.
The way that'll make me a little more, you feel me, comfortable. I'm not very uncomfortable right now just because of the whole situation. Like it wasn't my fault. Cause at the end of the day, bro, I talked to one of my lawyers already. They was just telling me I'm good. I'm not worried about being charged with no fucking second-degree murder. Like, come on now. Cause real shit, like if I really wanted to, y'all wouldn't have caught me. Like dead serious. On my dead daughter, y'all wouldn't have caught me. I was away.
My dead daughter. Oh, God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even know what else to say about this dude.
But me just having the decency and understanding that
don't even let him talk
things
anymore.
need to get in progress so things could come to the light and I could plead my fucking case on me not being a second-degree murder.
Today, 6 individuals were charged for crimes related to this case. 2 months after the incident, Xavier's mom, Susan, and his girlfriend, Alexis, were similarly charged for assisting Xavier in fleeing. While Alexis's past record is relatively clean, Susan has previous charges relating to forgery, identity theft, and property damage. For this case, they each faced 1 count of aiding an offender to avoid arrest and 1 count aiding an offender as an accomplice after the fact. Days after their arrest, Alexis posted a $25,000 non-cash bond, and Susan posted a $30,000 non-cash bond. Susan took a plea deal and was convicted of aiding an offender to avoid arrest. Her other charge was dismissed. She was sentenced to prison for 1 year, but that was stayed. Instead, she will serve 4 years of supervised probation, which will end in February of 2026. Alexis also took a plea deal and was convicted of aiding an offender to avoid arrest. Her other charge was dismissed. She will serve 180 days in jail, with the option of serving that time in home detention. She was also put on 4 years of supervised probation. Additionally, she has to pay a restitution of roughly $250 to the Minnesota Crime Victim Reimbursement Program. If all goes as planned, her probation will end in June of 2026. The stepfather, Keith, also faced numerous charges. This would not be Keith's first entanglement with the law, having faced numerous convictions in his past. These included charges related to a drive-by shooting, burglary, and possessing dangerous weapons as a prohibited person. He also has multiple charges related to theft of a motor vehicle and check forgery. His record starts back when he was 18 years old and shows roughly 10 years of prison sentences between 2004 and 2021. For this case, Keith was charged with 1 count of drive-by shooting, 1 count of possessing a firearm with a previously convicted crime of violence, and 2 counts of second-degree assault with a deadly weapon. After his arrest, he was given a $175,000 non-cash bail, which he posted 5 months later. He was subject to GPS monitoring, was banned from handling dangerous weapons, and was barred from contacting any victims or witnesses, except for the ones who lived in his home. Keith took a plea deal and was convicted of his drive-by shooting charge. All of his other charges were dismissed. In January of 2023, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison with 148 days of jail credit. Taking parole into consideration, he will likely not be out of prison until 2027. Jaden, the initial aggressor of the night according to witness statements, has no significant prior criminal history. After his arrest, the court offered a $500,000 conditional bail, but he would never take it. He faced 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder without intent and 4 counts of aiding and abetting second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. Jaden took a plea deal, which dismissed all charges save for 1 charge of aiding and abetting second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. Over a year after the offense in June of 2022, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison with 371 days of credit for time served. He must pay restitution for a total of almost $25,000. Just over $8,700 is to be paid to 2 different claims of the Minnesota Crime Victim Reimbursement Program, and nearly an additional $16,000 is being paid to the victim's brother's girlfriend, Brianna, whose family submitted claims and victim impact statements regarding that night's toll on her life. Jaden has likely served his time at this point, but court records indicate he still owes nearly all $25,000 of restitution. Enrique proved to have a violent criminal history. He's been convicted of previous charges for assault, fleeing the police and
this dude, do not let him out. I'm telling you that. Do not let him out. Do not let him out.
relation to vehicle tampering, first-degree aggravated robbery, giving police a false name and leaving the scene after causing an accident. For this case, he faced 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder without intent and 4 counts of aiding and abetting second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. Through investigations, it was found the bullet likely fired from Enrique's gun was the one that struck and killed 14-year-old Damaris. This was based off of analysis connecting the bullet to his firearm and DNA and video evidence linking the firearm to his possession over Xavier. He took a plea deal and pled guilty to 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder without intent and 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. His other 3 counts were dismissed. For 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder, he was sentenced 20 years in prison with 946 days of credit. For second-degree aiding and abetting with a dangerous weapon, he was sentenced 3 years and 3 months, but this would run—
Wait, not 20 years of prison with 940.
Consecutively, making his total sentence 20 years. Needing to serve at least 2/3 of his sentence before being eligible for probation, he will likely be in prison until nearly 2038, when he will be 41 years old. He is also jointly responsible for the restitution applied to Xavier's case. Xavier, who was 17 at the time of the incident, held a juvenile record that reports say included robbery at gunpoint, along with alleged armed threatening and possible gang associations. The incident took place 2 months before his 18th birthday. This fact, along with the seriousness behind his current and past crimes, caused him to be tried as an adult. For this case, he originally faced charges of 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder without intent, 4 counts of aiding and abetting second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon, and 1 count of possession of a dangerous weapon as an adjudicated delinquent. 5 months after his arrest, he paid a $750,000 bail using a bail bond. However, it appears the court reversed that decision months later, apprehending him once again. They would eventually offer a $5 million cash bond that would never be taken. Through court deliberations, Xavier faced increasing charges of second-degree assault. He originally pled not guilty to all charges. During court testimony, Jaden apparently made an unexpected appearance. He was able to do this as the trial took place in late 2023. While he was out on probation. Reports by Fox 9 indicated Jaden had to be escorted by security out of the courthouse. Court transcripts also share a disturbance that happened in the parking lot during the trial that prompted an increase in security which may or may not be related. In September of 2023, Xavier was found guilty on all 10 counts he was tried for, which included 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder with an added statute of murder, 5 counts of aiding and abetting second-degree murder with a dangerous firearm with a prior violent criminal history, and 4 counts of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. He would ultimately be convicted to 1 count of aiding and abetting second-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. His total sentence is 37 years and 3 months with 692 days of credit. He'll have to serve roughly 23 years and 8 months before being eligible for probation. Xavier will likely not be out of prison until nearly 2048, when he will be 44 years of age. He must also pay a total restitution amounting to just over $16,000, for which Enrique is jointly responsible. Just over $8,700 is to be paid to 2 different claims of the Minnesota crime victim.
Let me tell you something, man. This is the dude that claimed to be a rapper too. Let me tell you something what these young boys do, man. They'll get these charges or whatever, and they'll swear they cool. They'll swear because this gives them something to talk about in their rap careers. Let's be completely honest. They're gonna get out if somehow they get out early, right? These dudes put themselves in these situations, right? They go and they get out and they start a rap career. Of course, they're gonna rap about it because they have to, right? I mean, why not? You know what I mean? But instead of saying, yo, we're not going to do this anymore, you know what I'm saying? Instead of rapping about how you shouldn't do this, most of them, not all of them, because there's some that actually, you know, when they rap, they're like, nah, we're not going to do this, blah, 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 whatever. Most of them are going to rap about how cool it was and how they got away with it. Most of them are going to rap about, don't let this happen again. You see how, you know what I mean? Think about it. Listen to the lyrics. And I listen to rap. It is what it is. I know some of you will be like, no, it's just music. It's just music, Ralph. It's not. These dudes are bragging. They bragging about this. He said he was a rapper. I mean, I never heard of him. Probably nobody's ever heard of him. His only fans were probably in that house, and he shot one of them. So, well, one of them got shot by that other maniac there, the white kid or whatever he was. So, this is a crazy story, guys. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. As always, if you got more of these videos, man, go ahead and leave them in the description or in the comments below. I'll go check them out. And as always, like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I'll see you guys on the next Smoke